the worst thing someone's accused you of? I was 8 months pregnant and handcuffed to a hospital bed while law enforcement officers pressed me to admit I was selling my unborn baby. 2 weeks earlier at my baby shower, my husband and I announced the name would be James Patrick. James after my grandfather, Patrick after my husband's brother who died in Afghanistan. My sister-in-law Sandra got this weird look instantly. She pulled me aside, pressing, "Where did you get that name? How did you know about James Patrick?" I explained the meaning, showed her the framed photos of my grandfather and Patrick's brother, but she kept asking, "But how did you know?" She left without touching the cake. That night, she blocked us on everything. We figured she was just having personal issues, but then I woke to pounding on our door at 5 a.m. 2 weeks later, 2 officers with weapons drawn. That's how I found out Sandra had reported us to the Crimes Against Children unit. She claimed we were trafficking our baby using a stolen identity, that she had proof of our plans to sell our child to the highest bidder. They separated us immediately. My husband was dragged out in handcuffs while I screamed. Before I knew it, I was at the hospital for the baby's protection, handcuffed to the bed like I was already convicted. Officer Mills sat in my room, gun visible. "We know everything," he said, slamming down a folder. "James Patrick Murphy, 6 years old, Michigan. Your sister-in-law documented your obsession with this child." "I don't know any child." "Shut up." He showed me Facebook screenshots. "These marketplace posts, selling duplicate packages, that's code for twin babies. These buyers you mentioned, we know what that means." My blood pressure monitor started alarming as he kept reading out things that were our baby purchases. The nurse rushed in. "She's at 180/120. This stress could pause." "She's faking." Officer Mills interrupted her. "They all do this." Officer Lee arrived with CPS workers. "Your baby will be removed at birth. You'll never see it. That's if you're lucky and don't get life without parole." "Please, Sandra is lying. Those were registry gifts. Your husband's already confessed," Lee said, trying to save himself. "Said it was all your idea." My stomach suddenly seized. Sharp stabbing pain. "Something's wrong with the baby." "Convenient timing," Mills scoffed. "Sit still." The pain intensified. I felt warm liquid. "I'm bleeding." "Please." "You're not bleeding. Stop moving or we'll add resisting arrest to the charges." The nurse checked anyway and gasped. "She's hemorrhaging. Get Dr. Blake now." "She's faking. She's having a placental abruption." The nurse hit the emergency button. "This is life-threatening." Mills grabbed the nurse's arm. "How much did she pay you to say that?" "Doctor." Blake ran in, saw the blood, and went white. "Jesus Christ, how long has she been bleeding?" "5 minutes? Maybe 10? They wouldn't let me," the nurse started. "Or immediately. We could lose them both." But Officer Mills blocked the door. "She's in custody. She stays here." "Then you're signing their death certificates, Doctor." Blake snapped. "This is a medical emergency. Let me call my supervisor," Mills said slowly, pulling out his phone while I writhed in agony. "There's no time, Doctor," Blake shouted. "She's losing too much blood." "Protocol is protocol," Mills said, dialing. The call went to voicemail. He started leaving a detailed message. My vision was going dark. The nurse was pumping fluids into my IV while another nurse ran in with blood bags. "Her pressure's dropping," someone shouted. "Still waiting for authorization," Mills said, now texting his supervisor. "Hospital policy says custody transfers to medical authority during emergency surgery," the head nurse said, pulling up regulations on her tablet. Page 47, section 3. Mills started reading through the policy while I screamed through another contraction. Blood was pooling on the bed now. "This looks fake," he said about the policy. "Could be edited." "It's from the federal website, Doctor," Blake roared. They finally started wheeling me down the hall, officers jogging alongside. Mills kept saying to Lee, "Watch for her to run. They sometimes have accomplices dressed as medical staff." "She's hemorrhaging, Doctor," Blake shouted. "She can't run anywhere." In pre-op, I was barely conscious. The anesthesiologist saw my handcuffs. "Absolutely not. These come off for surgery. She's a flight risk. She's 8 months pregnant, bleeding out, about to be unconscious. Where would she go?" He looked at my chart. "You've had her blood pressure at stroke levels for how long? Are you trying to kill her?" Mills insisted on keeping one officer in the OR. "I need visual confirmation she doesn't escape." The anesthesiologist called security. "I need hospital administration here now. We have federal officers interfering with emergency medical treatment." The hospital administrator arrived, looked at the situation, me pale, bleeding, barely conscious, and told the officers, "You can stand outside the OR or I'm calling the Office of Professional Responsibility and reporting attempted murder by denying medical care." Mills pointed at me. "When she wakes up, if she wakes up, we're charging her with everything. The baby goes straight to CPS. No contact." Full story on channel linked below.